Good morning. We are at 7325 Larwell Lane, and it is a darling neighborhood. Really, really cute. It's quiet. Granted, it is kind of a Saturday morning. Everybody's still decorated for Halloween because it was last night. I drove through and tree-lined streets. I mean, really, really cute. And then, of course, this is the house. So we are, this is an open door house. So, Matt, I'm sure you kind of know what that means, that things can either go really well or really bad, right? Whoops, sorry. This has been sitting for a minute because you can see how kind of all the cobwebs and everything. There's like just small stuff that, you know, it's just the age of the home, right? Nothing necessarily wrong, just like little things. For instance, you know, this garage door is a little wonky. Just very, very small detail work. But overall, and I think you'll see, it's a pretty great house. So as we walk through, we come into the living space. And I will say that everything in here, everything in the home is very builder grade. So that leaves a lot of customization available, which, you know, it's not customized, of course, when you first move in, but you will be able to do a lot. And I personally like that, but I know some people don't. So this room and the rest of the home has this like kind of unique texturizing on the wall. You can kind of see it. And it goes on the ceiling as well. Everything in here looks like it's been freshly painted, and Open Door does usually do that. They usually put in new floors and paint. So we do have that texture on the walls. I don't hate it. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting. So this to me would be your dining space. Okay. Oh, and I wanted to show you the fireplace. So the dining space, see what I mean? Just like builder grade fixtures, but lots of room for customization. And at this price point, we could definitely do that. Now we walk into a little transition space and then the kitchen. So on this side, we have the powder room, a traditional powder room, nothing too exciting. And then there's also this under stair storage, and there's a lot of space in here. So they have that little shelf, but you could definitely do more. I think I would make this a pantry for the rest of the home, even though there is a little one. Eat-in kitchen space, and then your kitchen. So no refrigerator. Open Door usually doesn't do that, but let's kind of come into the kitchen here and see. So Formica countertops, but they're in excellent shape. The cabinetry has been painted white. So of course, no soft close, nothing like that. But I will say, again, everything's in good shape, right? Window over the sink, which I love, double sink. Let's see if there's a disposal. Oh, looks like we've had a little bit of a leak here, and there is the garbage disposal. Perfect. So appliances are in good shape, the ones that are in here. I would say, I don't know if it's necessarily brand new. Well, it's pretty new. It's pretty good stuff here. And of course, room for a standard refrigerator. Now over here is the pantry. But like I said, I think you could make maybe this like the drop zone for the garage, because the garage door is right here, and make that other space a pantry. But let's look into the garage. Oh, I forgot to turn on the light. Oh, maybe there isn't one. Oh, well, we'll just open up the door. So, unfinished garage space, 2-car garage. I will say it's gonna be a tight 2-car garage. I wouldn't do a whole lot of extra storage in here. Water heater, of course, that's gonna be standard in here. Now, one thing with Open Door, I don't know if it is, if you've come across this before, but Open Door usually doesn't know anything about their homes. And the reason I say that is they don't usually know how old the roof is, how old water heaters, how old really HVAC, anything like that. They don't know how old those things are. So they just don't have any information on the home. So we would need to do a pretty good inspection. So here is the backyard. Can't say there's a lot of it. It gets a little steep right here. You can't really tell in the video, I feel like. Let me see if I can get a better angle. Everything's wet, so I don't want to. There we go. There you can kind of see. Steep. So these neighbors on this side don't have a fence, but these ones do have a privacy fence. So you could definitely do a fence, that's for sure. And then you back up to this kind of pretty little wooded space. This slab looks pretty good. I mean, it needs a power wash, but it's in pretty good shape. Lots of cobwebs and stuff on this home. I need to look to see how long it's been sitting. It needs a good power wash. Open Door won't do that. So maybe we could ask for some credits or something to get that completed. Okay, let's go upstairs. Well, let me lock this. All right, let's go upstairs. Okay, so this isn't very bright. The carpet on the stairs looks good. It's not new, but good shape. No, it's not a today problem. Actually, it might be. It's pretty new. It's in really good shape. So as we come to kind of the landing right here, let's go to the left first. So this is the first room. This is huge. This is a really big non-primary room. Closets are pretty standard in this one. It's definitely had a fresh coat of paint. Oh, I turned the light off. That's why it's so dark. Oh, that light doesn't turn on. Okay. The next one, as we cross the hall, another really good sized room. We have our little corner window, and this closet is a little bit smaller. It's a noisy fan. Oh, I see some, I don't know if it's gonna, you can kind of see it in the video. Looks like we've had some water damage at some point. So that's something, if we like this house, we'll need to ask about. So right outside the door here on the top of the landing, we have attic access and washer dryer setup. Love that it's on the second floor with all the bedrooms. Across from us, we have a little linen closet. Not very big, just enough for your towels. And again, that textured wall and ceiling continues through this space. So this bathroom, pretty standard. Everything looks like it's in good shape. The bathtub, honestly, looks new. I don't think the hardware is, but they might have had like a bath fitter or a cover or something put on recently, because this looks pretty new. Double sink. We love, once you have a double sink, you can never go back. Let's do this room first. The third bedroom. So we have a front bedroom here. Ceiling fan. Again, great carpet. Closet. Standard closet. But in this one, you have a great view of your tree in the front yard, your neighbors. So we're pretty deep into the community. We're almost at the end. I want to say this cul-de-sac here is one of, we're pretty far back. We're about as far back as you can go. And then the primary. This is massive. This, I don't even really have the lights on in here because it's so bright. So again, those standard lights. I would do a ceiling fan in here, only because I can't sleep with that one. This is huge. Really, really huge. So let's look at the closet. in here first. Walk-in closet. And then on this side, this is the primary bath. Now, to me, it's definitely adequate, but there's nothing that says to me, oh, I didn't see the shower. There we go. Shower. There's nothing in here that really says to me that this is like a primary suite, right? It works. It's 100% workable, but I can't say there's anything like special to me that makes me think that this is a primary suite, although it is quite huge. And just like the rest of the home, this home is going to be so customizable because it's like ready for love. You know, it's in pretty good shape as far as, you know, what I can see just kind of as a walkthrough. Everything looks like it's in pretty good shape. We have a light bulb out here, but other than that, it really just needs like someone to come in here and make it their own. The doorbell, I might change that. That's not very pretty. And there we go. So back into the living space. So I'm going to point this out only because some people hate it. Some people don't even notice it. There is this like pole in the middle of the space. So as soon as you come down the stairs, it's right there. To me, it's not a big deal, but some people love it or hate it. Now, I will say there is almost every room, there's like this kind of stuff. See where they like, when they repainted, instead of like fixing the tape and fixing like how this should be, they just painted over it. That's very open door. They do that kind of stuff. Like for instance there, see that seam, which is like totally normal. Usually when you repaint, you kind of like spruce it up a little bit. But it's also a textured ceiling, right? The same texture on the wall was on the ceiling. So it's a little bit harder to repair. But the texture on the ceiling is kind of subtle to where I don't think like a popcorn ceiling, how you might want to like scrape it completely. I don't think you need to do that necessarily on these ceilings. It's pretty subtle. It's pretty subtle. And it gives it just like some texture and some interest. Okay, so we'll kind of end here in the kitchen, right? Because I feel like we all kind of end up in the kitchen, myself included. Oh, I didn't notice these. These are little lights. I don't really know how they work. But they're not on a switch. And they've been painted over. Okay. Well, maybe some other time we'll get those to work. Good space. You could put like a little island in the middle here and still have room. And you could also do like a little, breakfast table right here. All right, let me know what you think about this one.